as we all patiently wait to see if the federal government is going to move cannabis from a classification it never should have had to another one it really doesn't deserve, based on the recent rescheduling recommendations, Denver, a city that was way ahead of the curve in legalizing adult use cannabis, is now urging the federal government to go ahead and make that move to reclassify from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. The city's been raking in tax dollars from cannabis sales for years, but as it turns out, the cannabis industry isn't as green as it looks. Sales have been sliding, and businesses are struggling to stay afloat. In May alone, Colorado saw $113 million in sales, which is a far cry from its peak year in 2021, when sales were roughly $80 million higher. Denver's message to the federal government is clear and urgent: help us, but don't hinder us. Molly DePlechin, the executive director of Denver's Office of Marijuana Policy, stated, "This is essential so that marijuana businesses can continue to contribute to our economic prosperity." Denver's pushing for federal government to help to act on the Department of Justice's recommendations, but they're also insisting that any federal changes must respect state and local authority. They don't want Washington's decisions to interfere with the successful framework that they've built. Reclassifying cannabis, obviously, it could be a lifeline for these businesses, allowing them to be able to make tax deductions and get banking services without jumping through hoops. It could literally be a game changer. And let's not forget about the potential boost for research. Companies like Denver-based MedPharm Research, which studies cannabis for dementia and Alzheimer's treatments, have been stuck in the mud because of the strict federal regulations. Albert Gutierrez, president of MedPharm, is optimistic. He believes that moving cannabis to Schedule 3 would fast-track research by removing bureaucratic barriers. It could open doors for universities and other institutions to join the research efforts without fear of red tape. This could legitimize benefits of cannabis that we've all experienced anecdotally, but as with any good story, there are complications. Some folks aren't ready to see cannabis reclassified yet. There's calls for public hearings to be held after the presidential election. The Republican-led House Appropriations Committee has voted to block funding for the rescheduling process. Gutierrez puts it plainly: in this industry, nothing is ever finished until it's finished. As I mentioned before, Denver is making this bold push, but not just for reclassification, but also for state control on how to handle it. As the city commented to federal officials, stated, if marijuana is reclassified to Schedule 3, the authority of local jurisdictions should be supported by any federal regulations, which should allow states and localities to swiftly respond to local public health risks. Even with all the optimism in Denver, most defenders of Sweet Mary Jane are calling for cannabis to be removed from the schedule list altogether, arguing that reclassifying cannabis to a Schedule 3 could actually harm the industry. Under Schedule 3, cannabis would still be subject to federal regulations, which could impose new stringent rules on manufacturing, distribution, and, well, just about all areas of the current industry, leaving many wondering if reclassification could potentially stifle the very industry that it's trying to save. I'm Stone Slade, reporting for the High at 9 News.
Interesting. I mean, does Denver really think that Schedule 3 is all of a sudden going to make their businesses great again?
Well, I think getting that tax relief, I think it's going to, it's going to be a big boost to some. Some, I'm sure, are too far gone to be saved, but, I could see it, I don't know.
They think that Schedule 3 is going to save dry weed.
It's not all dry, Jason. God bless America.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all dry. Thank you, Jenny Beth.
And honestly, let's be fair. Denver has been in a regulated state for so much longer than, say, California and other places from a recreational adult use standpoint that there are some businesses that are entrenched enough that that tax boost will just completely change their lives. And there are some that are still making hella money. So, I mean, Jason, I think you have to be a little bit more realistic and a little less judgy. If you don't like the weed, don't smoke it.
I don't.
Then fine.
I don't.
We settled it.
I don't understand how anyone does.
A lot of people do, and honestly, a lot of the concentrates in Denver.
I do believe that Colorado has great concentrates.
The great people at Allgreens. Yeah. But if you want to try some good Denver weed, smoke Deck by Peck.
I had a conversation with some Denver folks just 2 weeks ago, and 6 of them, as a matter of fact, and they all said that the weed out there is dry as fuck.
Mm-hmm. See, 6 out of 6. 6 out of 6 Coloradans.
6 out of 6 people that Rico knows can't find good weed. Well, then you know what? I'll put them in touch with some folks.
Was that Stone?
That's it. The cannabis out there has potential to be dry because of the climate, but there are some great growers out there that have great product, and if you get
Absolutely.
it,
Yeah, it all gets turned
when
into
it hits the
hash.
shelf. What's that?
I said it all gets turned into hash.
Stop the cap.
The hash is good, but there's good flour. There is. You can't just dog the people. You just got to get it quick. It can't sit on the shelf too long.
You got to get it quick.
Yeah.
It's no shelf life out
I
there.
don't understand their optimism, guys.
I don't either,
Really
Dale.
don't. Because if you pressure coming inside the story I just covered, what the DOJ thinks about marijuana and the harms, the DEA has already showed their hand that they're not just going to allow people to walk in and take over the industry if it goes to Schedule 3. They're going to make it as difficult as they can to get a Schedule 3 license to manufacture it and transport it and sell it. And I think these people are just, they're looking down the barrel of a shotgun about to blow their head off and trying to find good things to say about it. It's nonsense. This rescheduling thing is going to be drug out until after the election. And at that point, I have no idea where it's going to go. But the people that I represent, some of them equity, some of them because of color, but others because of criminal records, they don't have a snowball's chance in hell of getting a license to be in the regulated, controlled substance industry if it goes to Schedule 3. So, I mean, a lot of this is just wishing and hoping as you're waiting for them to take your head off. And you're not going to get shit for tax dollars. This is going to go to big pharma corporations who know how to do it. And it's wishing for something that's going to kill the industry. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize.
Maybe it's already dead.
Listen, it's still like twitching a little bit.
Still twitching.
It's still
Some
twitching.
life in there.
Yeah, I mean.
Circling the
I
drain.
was going to make a Joe Biden joke, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. Yeah.
Oh wow. I'm gonna do something I've never done. Can I do it, Jason? I'm gonna read an
What?
honorary super chat
I don't.
from the one and only
Oh boy. So my
Jason's
aunt
Aunt
my aunt texted me, Rico.
Rico does lean dim, and if he can't find anything, he goes to their looks. Funny little man. Okay, Dad has it. Where is it?
When do I go to their looks? Can I get some evidence, some kind of empirical evidence, some kind of backing to this slander?
We can make a whole reel. A reel of Rico
you can
insulting
make
people's physical appearance.
I actually write my stories and I make sure that they're balanced. I'll send you my transcript and I'll show you that I take more shots at the Democrats than I do at the Republicans.
It's more when you shoot from the hip, when your true personality
This poll
comes
is
out.
rigged.
Yeah.
This poll is rigged.
The Bill Maher of High at 9.
We are dangerously close on time today.
Smartmatic is over here running the YouTube polls now. Okay.
Yeah, 63% say you throw more shade at Republicans.
There's no choice for equal shade, though. This poll is rigged.
Let me tell you something.
Give people the choice for equal shade.
If this was the Florida legalization initiative, it would have just passed.
Yeah.
I don't hang with Chads.
Yeah, the Chads.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, I mean this whole reclassification thing, man. I agree with you, Dale. I think people are just like trying to hang on to some kind of positivity right now, and unfortunately, this is the lowest hanging fruit. And there's like they need some kind of optimism.
I think it's all the people,
something.
all the stock bros, because once he goes to Schedule 3, their stock value is going to go up for a while, and that's going to be the time to sell, because then it's just going to plummet again.
Right. It's because all their penny
So there's a
stocks
pump and
they've
dump?
invested.
Yeah, it's all their penny stocks.
Yeah.
That's why everyone's all
There's a
hyped
pump
about
and dump
it.
then, Jason.
Well, that and they put it in their Q4 fundraising deck. So
They have done that too.
yeah,
Fair.
it's important.
Yeah, but trying to sell stock in a company that doesn't have a license to manufacture marijuana, I think that might be fraud.
Yeah, investor fraud in this industry, Dale, for shame. They would never.
Oh no. No lions actually still in this industry, right?
Exactly. You ready, Rico?
Shout out to Denver, I guess. Shout out to Denver, if you will.
It's Denver. There's the
we have an Aunt
rebuttal.
Linda.
There's the rebuttal right there. There's the rebuttal.
Love to Aunt Linda.
Absolutely.
She says.
Linda Tio Loco said hi.
Yeah, she says that you do cut the Dems a bigger break overall.
Okay, can I get some evidence? Can I get some evidence of this?
That's her opinion, bro. That's her opinion. This is an opinion show.
I love the fact.
This is an opinion show.
Can we do a reel? Can we make a reel of Rico just saying orange man?
All the liberals tell me that I talk too much shit about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris has failed.
I don't think that's even possible.
All the Republicans say, yeah, all the Republicans say that that I'm doing the same to their people. So that must mean that I'm doing it right.
That must mean I could agree with that part, Rico. I could agree with that part. If you're pissing everybody off, you're doing something right.
100%.
I love it.
That's my litmus test.
Keep it coming, baby.
Yeah.